Hey there, this is class notes and homework number 3, multiplying binomials. Trying something new. I hope this is a little bit better. Maybe it's easier to see and easier to hear. Let me know, give me some feedback. So open up to page 7, and again, these are the class notes and the homework. So first of all, I see multiplying binomials. Just want to make sure you remember what a binomial is. So think about, before I tell you, can you think of what a binomial is? Well, bi means 2, and let's come up with 2 examples right here. That is a binomial. It's a linear binomial because I have x, if you think about it, to the first degree. First degree terms are considered linear. So that's one binomial. Here is another binomial. It's another simple linear binomial. Yesterday we learned about what happens when you multiply a monomial, or one term, by a binomial, for example, and we reviewed the idea of winking and smiling and using the distributive property to make sure that you kind of take care of or tend to all of the terms when you multiply them out. Well, here we have 2 binomials, so we have to make sure that we take care of all the terms in what we're looking at. So let's go for it. So to multiply binomials, I have to distribute each term in the first binomial, right, to each term in the second binomial. And then I have to combine like terms. Now, some mathematicians and some teachers refer to this method of multiplying binomials as FOIL. And FOIL is an acronym that stands for first, outer, inner, last. And what that means is, first, what you might multiply is the first terms in both binomials. So for example, I have A times C. Now, outer stands for the 2 outer terms, so it would be A times D, you can see here. The inner terms would be the B times C, and then last but not least, the last term, so B times D. That's what FOIL stands for. It can be a helpful acronym to help you make sure that you kind of tend to, I always use that word, to all the terms in the polynomials that you're multiplying together. So let's go for it. So if I have this first example, I have some colored pencils I might use. If I think about my FOIL, I might do something like this. Again, this is just because I like color. And then maybe next I tend to my last 2 terms. And then down here, my inner terms. And last but not least, my last 2 terms. Okay. So if I look at my green, and I will keep it color-coded, I have 4 times x, or x times 4, right? So I am going to, sorry, let's start with the first one, which is blue. I don't want to do the last one first. So if I have I'm multiplying the first 2 terms together. So I have x times x, which is x squared. Then I am going to multiply the 2 outer terms, which is x times 4. So 4x. Now I am going to take care of the inner 2, which I coded as orange, so 2x. And last but not least, I have my last 2 terms, which is red, so I'm going to do 2 times 4 with my broken pencil is 8. Okay. Now, I have to make sure that I combine. Is this in final form, if you think about it? Well, no, because I have some terms that I can combine because they are both x terms. They're linear x terms. So I'm going to hold on to my x squared because that's the highest degree. I'm going to keep that to the left. I am going to combine 4 and 2 to get 6x, and I get to keep my constant, which is 8. So that is the final answer. Okay. I am not going to continue to color code, but I will just do that one. So now I just want to make sure that I wink and smile and wink and smile. I'm doing a lot of winking and I'm doing a lot of smiling. So here we go. I have 2x, so I'm going to do the first 2 terms initially, so 2x squared, 2x times x. minus 10x, because I'm now doing the outer terms. And then I have plus x, or again, I could do 1x, because I have 1 times x. And then I am going to end with 1 times negative 5, which is negative 5. Now, if I look at this again, I know I have to combine some terms here. I'm going to keep my 2x squared on the left side. I'm going to combine these two, so negative 10x plus 1x is negative 9x. And then I'm going to hold on to my constant. So there are my 2 examples. We'll do a couple more, and then I will model the homework. So here, if that helps you to wink and smile each time, so be it. If it doesn't at this point, that you're starting to see the pattern, then go for it. But I do recommend that you write it out first and don't try to do everything in your head. But now I have y squared plus y plus 8y plus 8. I've got my y terms, and I'm going to rewrite y squared plus 9y, because I'm combining my y's, plus 8, my constant. And there we go. Okay, so here I have x squared plus, forgive me, that's not an x, that's a k, plus 5k minus 4k minus negative 4 times 5 is 20. Now I get to combine these critters here. So I'm going to keep my k squared, my quadratic degree here, and then I'm going to combine these two, which leaves me with a k, and then keep my 20, my negative 20. Okay. Let's go ahead and skip down. So these are all pretty similar, but let's skip down to maybe number 5. I'm just going to scoot up a little bit. If I have number 5, because I have a leading coefficient here of 4, so it might look a little different. Same process though, okay? So 4x times x is 4x squared plus 12x minus 7x minus 21. Combine 4x squared plus 5x minus 21. Okay, so that should get you going as far as the notes are concerned. Why don't we do, let's skip down to number 9. So if you go to number 9, because I see that number 9 has 2 leading coefficients in these 2 different binomials. Let's just do those. Okay, so I have 8h times 3h. I have to do a little more math, so I have 3h to the 2nd power, or squared, minus 8h minus 9h, negative 3 times negative 1, 3. Then I can do some combining here, and you may start realizing something about when I multiply and distribute all these out, that usually the inner 2 terms have some kind of common, I would say, variable that I can now combine. That's going to be something important for the future. So now I'm going to combine these two. I'm going to have negative 17h plus 3. Okay, so those are the class notes. Let's put a box around that. And let's go ahead to the homework now. So, oh, I take that back. Before I go to the homework, let's just do something that looks a little different. So if I'm on page 8, let's look at something like this, number 16. Don't let it fool you. If I have a squared binomial, I can just rewrite that, can't I? I can rewrite it like this, right? If that helps you, then do it that way, right? So here we go, we have p squared minus 7p minus 7p plus 49. And then I can think about negative 7p minus negative 7 is negative 14p plus 49. Okay. So now if I go down to the binomial by trinomial. So you have to find each product and you have to make sure that they're in standard form. But if you see that we now have a trinomial here, because we have 3 terms, it's going to be a little bit of extra work. So just make sure, just like you foiled last time, you can still foil, but remember you're going to have some extra letters in your acronym. You have to make sure that you distribute all of these terms when you multiply them. Let's go for it. X to the third plus 3x squared minus 6x. So I'm tending to that. Now I get to go for the others. So here's now all of this against my 4. 4x squared plus 12x minus 24. So again, I just multiplied 4 by all these terms. Now there's going to be a little bit more combining to do. So maybe I'll do a little color this time. I like orange. Maybe I'll think about my x squared terms. Do I have some x squared terms? I see those are x squared. Maybe I'll do blue. I see just a linear x term. 2 of them. Great. I have a constant, and then I have a cubic term, which I can't combine, so let's go ahead and rewrite. So now I have x to the third. Sometimes it might help, especially when you have a lot of terms, to just go ahead and cross it off when you take care of it. I'm going to combine, because I know my second degree terms have to come next. So I have 3x squared plus 4x squared, so that would be 7x squared. That's going to come next. Then I'm going to have my 6x term, because I'm combining these and the positive wins. And last but not least, I have my constant. And if you think to yourself, what type of polynomial is this? Well, you can call it a polynomial. You could also call it if you think about it, a cubic polynomial, because that's the highest term, and we have it in descending order if you think about it that way. Okay, let's go down, maybe let's do 22. Okay, so if I look at 22, I am going to do make sure I take care of everything. So let's go for it. So for 22, and the reason I chose this one is because each polynomial, right, polynomial A, which is a binomial and a trinomial, each one has a leading coefficient, which is just a number, a coefficient, if you will, right, that's with the highest exponent. So if I 2v, 4v squared, I'm going to have 8v to the third power minus 6v squared minus 12v plus 12v squared minus 9v. Let's see if I can squeeze it in, minus 18. Okay, so you should notice that if you are multiplying a binomial by a trinomial, well, 2 times 3 is, I hope you know that's 6, so you should have a resulting of 6 terms in your next line, if you think about it that way. And then for 22, I can go ahead and simplify. So I only have 1 cubic term. And now I'm just going to do my underlines. I have 2 quadratic terms, I have linear terms, and I have constant. So let's go for it. Well, I know the cubic term has to go first. And then I have my quadratic. I'm just combining these 2. And then I have my linear, or my just simple v, which is negative 21, if I combine those. And then I have, last but not least, my constant. There is the answer. Okay. Don't worry about this. We'll do this later. Now let's go ahead to the notes. Forgive me. Oh. we go. So homework 3, multiplying binomials and trinomials. Let's see how many we can do. Let's go for it. Okay. And make sure that you don't forget that if you have a binomial times a binomial, you should think that you're going to have 4, once I multiply them out, I'm going to have 4 terms to then simplify. So I'm going to have x squared plus 7x plus 2x plus 14. I'm going to combine. I have my leading exponent, which is a quadratic, plus 9x, combining those, plus 14. Put it in a box. Number 2, I have x squared, I have 3x, I have 8x, I have 24. And now I'm going to combine my terms, 11x plus 24, because 8 plus 3, 11. Number 3, I have b squared minus 2b plus 4b minus 8. And I can simplify that to b squared plus 2b. To be or not to be? That is the question. Number 4. I'm just gonna let go of my scaffolding, and now I'm just gonna try to go for it without doing my little FOIL stuff, right? You can always FOIL though first, right? Okay. W squared plus 3w minus 7w minus 21. Combine, I still have w squared minus 4w minus 21. Number 5, I have m squared minus 2m minus 5m plus 10. And I'm going to simplify. And I've got the negative 7m when I combine these. Don't forget I am subtracting, right? Then I go to 6. I have y squared minus 3y minus y plus 3. Y squared, simplify. That might be tricky. Negative 3y minus y. I'm getting further in debt there. Number 7. Now I've got a leading coefficient of 2 in this binomial, so I might have to just, make sure I check my work a little bit. 2x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 3. Combine. 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. This could even make a contest, like how fast you can personally do it. Number 8 is 3k squared plus 2k plus 12k plus 8. Combine 3k squared, 14k, 8, 4m squared minus 8mn plus mn minus 2n squared. Let's see, I've got some terms that I can combine here. I have 4m squared minus 7mn minus 2n squared. Box. 10. I have 3w squared minus 4w plus 18w minus 24. Combine. Once you get into the rhythm, it's kind of hard not to. Plus 14w minus 24. FOIL. 5x squared minus 10x plus 3x minus 6. 5x squared minus 7x minus 6. 2. See, I just almost wrote a 2. I'm trying to go so fast. 14a squared minus 4ab minus 28ab. Remember, these inner ones are going to be the same term. Isn't that interesting in all these? Plus 8b squared. Now 14a squared minus 32ab plus 8b squared. Should I keep going? I'm sure you want me to. Ooh, I hope that was showing the whole time. That's a lot of math work. Okay, 13. Well, if I want to rewrite this, which is not a bad idea, just so you know, what what that really means, I highly encourage you to do that. So I've got x squared. I've got 4x. I've got 4x. I've got 16. I got to combine. Oh, I'm going to rewrite this too, but this time I'm just going to do that. Instead, I've got a squared. I've got minus 3a plus 9. I get to combine. I've got a squared minus 6a plus 9. Negative 3 equals negative 6. Same here. I'm just going to rewrite it over here. Make sure I remember. 15. I got 16m squared. I got 4m. I got 4m. I've got 1. I've got some terms to combine. 16m squared. 8m. 1. Box. X squared minus x plus x minus 1. X squared minus 1, because these cancel each other out. Don't end up with like negative 2 or something there. They cancel each other out. 17. Y squared plus 8y minus 8y minus 64. Oh, interesting. Something super interesting I'm starting to realize. Y squared minus 64. But these are canceling each other out. And what do you notice about these terms? They have something in common. Think about that. 18, 4w squared minus 2w plus 2w minus 1. There's another one. These are going to cancel each other out. I love when they cancel each other out. It's less work you have to do. I've got here 19. I think I'm going to end with this row because my hand is getting tired. 9a squared minus 12ab plus 12ab minus 16b squared. Cancel. 9a squared minus 16b squared. I love when they cancel. Ooh, I've got a binomial times a trinomial. Extra work. I'm going to write small. X to the third plus 4x squared minus 8x plus 5x squared plus 20. Can I fit it in? X. Last but not least, minus 40, because I have 8 times 5, but it's negative. Okay. Combine. X to the third is my only cubic. 9x squared, because I have a square. I've got a square. I've got a linear x, 12x from that. And then I've got my constant. So I end up with a cubic polynomial. This is the last one I'm going to do before my finger falls off. M to the third plus 4m squared plus 19m plus 21. Do you want me to do it out for you? I'll do it out for you guys. M to the third plus 4m. Oh man. See, I'm going to start that one over. See, this is what happens. You make a mistake, erase, start over. I went too fast. Let's slow it down. M to the third, I'll make it count. M to the third plus 4m to the second plus 7m plus 3m squared. Can I fit it in? 12m plus 21. That's a lot of work. Let's see, I have 1 cubic. Let's look at my terms here. I've got m squared. I've got a 7m, 12m. Okay, so now I can combine. M to the third, 7m squared, because 4 plus 3. Then I have 19m, and I have 21. That is all I can do. You are welcome to look at the answers for the rest of these, but they are getting trickier because you have higher leading coefficients as we progress down the page. I hope this helped. I know it's a lot of work, but it does take practice. Stick with it. You're doing a great job. Good luck. I know you can do it.